Hey, we're live. Look at that. I don't know where the intro went. Anyway, you're watching the Splash Pages, the comic book club, powered by the Dorkening Podcast Network. We have an awesome show scheduled for you today, and as always, Velvet Joker, how's it going, my friend?
It's going awesome. Glad to be here tonight. Talk to everybody, see what's going on.
Yeah. And Drew, my friend, how's it going?
And this is Anthony Michael Hall. When you're watching The Dorkening, my friends are about to show you what live entertainment is all about, baby. I'm sorry, that was always been my favorite part of the intro. I'm good. Let's do this. Let's have fun.
Totally. I must have deleted the wrong intro. I apologize. I suck. That's it.
I never said that.
No, I'm saying that.
Okay. I'm just. So, lot to unpack this week. It's a lot to unpack. So, how are we doing this? Is our guest just gonna, fly in Mary Poppins style?
Does she fly in or does she hover or she?
It's Disney. It's Disney, man. It's magic.
Wasn't okay? There's some fan theory that Mary Poppins. What the hell is she? Come on, help me out, guys. Help me out.
What are you looking for, Leo?
Leo,
Help me help you.
Leo, this is not Dorkening the Mad Libs. Okay, Mary Poppins is a adjective, literal noun, Time Lord.
Hold on. Okay. Undercover nanny? No, that's not it. Okay. That she studied at Hogwarts.
Okay, so
she's a Time Lord.
Okay, so what? Every British person who knows magic goes to Hogwarts. Yeah, there are other schools, Just saying. I mean, no disrespect to Hogwarts, Hufflepuff, yo, but
I could have sworn there was a new fan theory about Mary Poppins. We'll have to ask our guest because maybe she's a Mary Poppins.
Maybe she would know, but I just want to say I'm still kind of sad I wasn't able to make it to Terrificon this year because from the posts I've seen, Mitch did a great job, and apparently just in time because with things heating up on the COVID, all these cons that we were looking forward to. Now I'm like, oh boy, here we go.
Yeah, actually, the area that Terrificon is, it's where I live here. Is we just turned to red for COVID.
Oh my God,
we're like a hot spot now. So,
Leo, you're gonna get to read all the books now because you're gonna be told to stay home.
Oh yeah. Well, actually, my work put an announcement that they're pushing back, going back. The return to offices. It was supposed to be in October.
The same for my job that we were supposed to do September, and now they're like, because we've been doing alternating, some days in the office, some days home.
Yeah,
and it was supposed to be September, but they were like, yeah, we're just gonna keep that going, and we're gonna let you know. And I'm like, cool. I love the days when I can work in sweatpants.
Isn't that every day?
No, I put on jeans when I go to the office, Leo. Okay, big difference. Okay, belts. God. So, Rich, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good. I was just checking in with our guest. We're waiting for her. I don't know unless she's in the background already, Leo. I don't know.
You know what we should do? We should.
Oh, she just popped in. Hold on. We should. What should we do there?
We should rip up a letter and throw it in the fireplace, and then she'll appear. That's how it worked in the movie, right?
Yeah, you want to do that?
No, I don't. Why do I have to do it? Why do I? Just because I live in Westchester, I have a fireplace. That's what that is.
It's a marble one, isn't it?
You know what? That's neither here nor thou.
Gargoyle carved into it, doesn't it?
You know what?
Oh, you're muted. You're muted. What did you do, Drew? What did you do? Well, while Drew finishes that or fixes that, Velvet Joker, would you like to introduce our awesome guest?
Okay. Well, I don't know her personally, but I know her from recent Terrificon fame, which we'll get into. I believe her name is Eilee Dingus.
Hi.
Hey, how's it going?
It's good. It's really good.
Did I say that correctly? Eilee?
Yes, you did. I'm actually really proud of you.
Yay.
First try.
So now,
Fantastic.
Eilee, now you are a cosplayer, is that correct?
Yes, I am.
Okay. And was this your first Terrificon?
Actually, I've been going to Terrificon since I want to say it was 2014, their first year.
Wow.
That year I was, geez, I'd have to do math on that one for how old I was. I went with my family. I was Black Widow, like one of the comic book Black Widow costumes. And it was so much fun. This was back at Webster Bank Arena, and we had such a good time. My family has been every year since, at least one day.
That's dedication.
So.
That's dedication.
Are you a natural singer, or was
yes.
something?
No, I've been training with a professional voice teacher for 6-7 years now. Every year we go compete in national competitions, and we also have yearly showcases for agents from New York City. So we had that 2 weeks before Terrificon. I want to say 2 or 3, might have been longer than that, but so we had just had that, and I was coming off the high from that when I came to Terrificon.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
And was this your regular character, or was this new this year?
No, I've been to Terrificon as Mary Poppins a couple times. This was, I want to say, the second year. I've been working on this costume for, I want to say, on and off for about 4 years now. And everything in the costume I made. The only things that I didn't make was the wig that was styled by Magic with Martino. And the shoes were actually the shoes my mother got married in.
Wow.
And she gave them to me to use for this costume.
Disney history right there.
Yeah, definitely.
So
very cool. Now, I reached out to Mitch to try to get anything that anyone was saying behind the scenes, and all he would tell me was that what I didn't know is you won the costume contest.
I did, yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, there's some really good costumes usually at Terrificon.
Oh, yeah.
So, you know, so that's fantastic. So how did you win?
You.
Did you float in when it was your turn to come in?
I'm afraid I'm not that magical.
Not that attitude.
Actually, the funniest thing is I had done the celebrity photo op with Michael Rooker right before I went to the costume contest. I was almost late because I was running directly from there to the contest and just made it in time to get my spot in line so that I could go on stage with the rest of the contestants. And the judges had told me that it wasn't just the costume. It wasn't just, all the work I had done. It was also presenting the character when I was walking around the convention, because they had seen me, they had heard me, and they were just so in awe of how well I presented the character, as well as how well I made the character to be. So that was cool.
So Michael Rooker. So
Yeah.
How did that happen? Because I've heard he's really great with fans. It's funny because back in 2015, I had a friend who we were at a convention in Atlantic City, and he was just chilling, and my friend just walked up and asked if he could get a photo, and he just took it then and there and didn't charge him a cent. And I was just like, wow, you just got a free photo with Michael Rooker. That's amazing. So he's stupendous for someone who does a lot of dark movies. So.
Oh my goodness. Every time I tell this story, words don't explain how wonderful he is. He really is just like every good story you heard that could be true. I'm almost 100% sure it is true. He is that nice of a person.
Okay.
So the whole story is I was walking around with my parents at the time, and all of a sudden I'm walking around and I hear this lady calling out to me, Mary Poppins, can you wait for a second? So I look up and there's this woman running towards me with a guest badge around her neck. And she comes up to me, she says, have you met Michael Rooker yet? And I said, no. So she says, okay, we're going to fix that. I was like, okay. where are you taking me? Because she starts leading me away. She goes, oh, we're going to his table right now. He had an autograph line all the way to the end of the celebrity section of the convention.
Yeah.
And she brings me right around the line in front of all the other celebrity tables, directly to the front of his table.
That's awesome.
And she looks at him and she says, Mr. Rooker, there's somebody here who needs to meet you. She takes a step to the side, and he takes one look at me, and he starts, like, you can see the joy on his face. He goes, oh my God, Mary Poppins. He puts an arm around my waist and shouts at everybody leave us. Drags me behind the curtain behind his table.
Right.
And the two of us stand back there and just laugh for a good 10 minutes. People are like kind of trying to pop in, some people at his table, and he's like grabbing the curtain going, nope, and just closing the curtain.
Awesome.
It was hysterical. So we're standing back there laughing. We come back out and we're chatting, and it's so nice. He keeps an arm around my waist at all times. And he's like, you know what? I'm going to stay here. I don't want to go anywhere else. We're just going to stay here like this. I'm looking at my parents. I'm like, I don't think they're going to mind. Just because it was so funny and it was so wholesome.
Right.
And we're talking back and forth, and I'm talking with the accent, with the voice the whole time. And he kind of is winding down from encountering me, and which I'm aware that I put on the show as much as I can. So I know it's very interesting to meet me in character. So before he goes back to his table, I say to him, like I say to all the kids that I meet, what's your favorite Mary Poppins song? So he says, that's A Spoonful of Sugar. So I said, okay. And as we all know, the song starts with a small bit of dialogue. So I go to start that. He goes, wait, stop. I go, okay. So then he takes his phone up and starts recording and starts the famous video. And I'm sitting there shaking.
Right.
Because this is, it's not the first time I've been recorded, but there was no, oh, I want to record this for myself. There's no, there was nothing. He didn't tell me anything. He just started. And I did everything I could to keep it together and just keep going with him. And so we record the video, and later on at the photo op, when I see him again later, his agent grabs my shoulder as I'm leaving and says, I want you to know you're on his Facebook page. And that's how I found out that he posted the video.
That's amazing.
Awesome.
It was really cool.
So you found out at Terrificon, you found out.
Yes.
And humongous.
Yes.
So literally you would have been flying if you could right then and there. It's like, okay, cool.
Oh, yeah.
Bye.
Yeah.
See you in the next movie.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah.
So, well,
would you mind if we show the pictures from the con in the video?
Means. Go ahead. Absolutely.
Leo, look how pleasant she is. Do you really think she's going to mind? No.
No, I know, but I'm being polite. I want to ask before we share, you know.
Well, that's good manners.
At this point, they are all over the place. I don't mind.
That is precious.
Yeah.
Yep. Look at that. Look at them umbrella bros right there.
Oh, funny thing about her. So her dad actually reached out to me and asked if I would sign a picture for her. Aww. As a, just to sign it, just to have signature and things like that. So of course I agreed. He sent me a picture. I went and printed it off and signed it for her in a beautiful red pen. And he sent a video of her saying supercalifragilisticexpialidocious while holding the picture. And of course she's young, so she didn't quite get it right, but it was absolutely adorable.
A little tear to the jaded eyes. But there you go. Look at that.
Yeah.
That is
Mary Poppins himself with Mary Poppins.
Like I can't tell the difference. You know, one is just
like a mirror.
It's just a very posh, well looking. Look at that. That honestly, that's one of those where you want somebody to love you as much as Michael is loving you right now in that photo. That's one of those. That is just you. It's like that's just you are my everything right now.
Yeah,
the-
I dream for somebody to look at me like that.
like that
Out of
those are
the
goals.
costume.
That's a meme right there. It's like I want. Oh, she's gone.
Oh, she dropped off. While we wait for her to come back, I will.
Yeah, show the video.
Okay, let's do it.
Blow that shit
So
up.
I got a question for this friend of mine. You know, she came by my table. I'm here at the what's the name of this place? Terrificon. And this chick, she showed up at my table, and I just wanted to ask her a question. You know how I am with women. I'm curious about that.
Oh my god.
That part of our.
You're missing the best part.
And all that
There's
stuff.
about to be
I'm
two
sorry.
of you.
Very special lady.
There is about to be two of us.
And I want to introduce you to Mary. Hi, Mary.
Why, hello there.
So, Mary, you know my favorite song, right?
I do. That would be a song.
Can we do it?
I'm losing my mind.
Yeah,
You
here
see,
we go.
in every job that must be done, there is an effort to fun. You find fun and snap. The job's a game.
Yep.
And every task you undertake becomes a piece of cake. A laugh, a scream, it's very clear to see that a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down.
That's right.
The medicine go down.
betcha.
Medicine go down. Just a spoonful of sugar
Just one.
helps the medicine go down.
Yep.
In a most delightful
I like
way.
it a lot.
I think.
You're beautiful, honey.
Thank
Thank you for coming.
Not again.
Yeah, bye,
Guy-
everyone.
Bye.
Guys, we might need to end the show because I don't think anything we're going to talk about is going to top that. I mean, Mary can't even stay long, so but
She's coming back.
she is coming back.
He's coming back.
There
Yeah,
you go.
There she is.
I'm so sorry. I don't know what's going on.
It's fine. It's making for great dialogue.
Technical difficulty.
You know,
magic just popping back in.
are we not animated enough for you? Are you used to?
Oh, no,
we can get 2-dimensional. Our
I'm
budget.
saying very. I'm saying very un-Disney-like things when the stream ends for me.
Oh, that's fantastic. No, it's okay. Disney After Dark. We get it.
Jabo says you were also on Michael's Instagram live stream as well.
Was I? Oh, goodness. Oh, yes, Instagram, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait, I'm slowly trying to process everything because it's still new to me. I'm
You're
still getting...
Tag yourself on that video on Instagram, and the commercial endorsements are just going to come rolling in, girl.
My
We're
sister
catching you
went and did
early
that for
before
me,
this-
actually.
You're about to be famous. You just don't realize it yet.
Yeah, Disney is big, man.
Yeah. Yeah, so my family actually found a lot of the videos before I did. And when they saw the videos, they were instantly tagging all of my accounts on whatever platform it was on.
Nice.
It was insane. And my sister was really quick. She was like, oh yeah, this is my sister. This is her account. She does costumes. She made her costume herself. She does open commissions. And I'm like, yeah, I do. But I'm not ready to disclose that yet.
Right. So,
and we lost her again.
I was going to ask her what her account is. I want to follow her on Instagram, and just like JJ Cohen. Did I tell you guys that I'm actually friends with JJ on Instagram?
Nice.
Yeah, I was like, yo. Yeah, he keeps posting. Did you know that? Oh, she's back. Hi, Mary.
Hi. I promise I'm not trying to do this on purpose.
Wait, no, it's fine. You should have seen some of our big interviews. We had like 8 people. It was like Italian dinner. Everybody's trying to talk. Everybody's drinking. It's getting stupid.
Sounds about right.
So I have to ask again, being Disney, and God damn it. I was going to ask her what her favorite like when you're at a con, what is like the weirdest and most funny outrage reaction? Because I get them all the time when I'm Deadpool.
Deadpool.
Oh my God.
So if anybody's interested in following Eilee, you can find her information in the show notes up above or down below, depending on where you're watching or listening to.
Hello again.
Welcome back.
Hi. So I'm trying a different room, seeing if that helps.
we were just letting everybody know where we can follow you. They can follow you, so we can just increase more of the attention you're getting. So, your ego can get even bigger, but still, yeah.
So
Man,
big.
maybe she goes outside.
I don't know. Maybe
What was that
maybe
account?
so it's Eilee Rose, I believe. And let's see.
Maybe if we don't talk, she'll stay.
I'm hoping this works this time.
Okay, so
Hopefully.
how do you? Oh, okay, there you go. There's the spelling. Okay, we were looking you up on Insta to follow you.
Oh yeah,
So-
that would be Dingus 1197, I think, on Instagram.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, and yes, that is my last name. I got a couple questions on Michael Rooker's video, specifically asking me if that was my last name, and yeah, that is a family name. So
It's all good.
Okay. It's fine.
I'm aware of the connotation, I guess, but behind the word, so it's fun.
All good.
There's no judgment here. We're nerds. What are we to judge?
Have you got any interesting messages or feedback since this has happened, besides your family?
Well, that is a great question because Disney gets weird.
And it's not Disney, but I've gotten a lot of very creepy messages and very strange messages. One of the big ones was actually somebody had turned around on the video on Facebook and had said, "I bet she's really good in the bedroom with that foreplay." Or the role play, not foreplay, role play. And that was really interesting. I've gotten people asking, what I charge per night, which is, again, just really interesting and, very un-Disney questions.
Yeah, it's definitely
I charge $500 to come to a party dressed as this, and that's all.
It'll be $200 for a hug and a photo.
Like.
Thank you.
There you go.
No, I think it's also funny when you're a Disney character because it's weird because I mean, I'm kind of a Disney character, but I'm not. I think, Rich, you've seen this. You can kind of understand that. I do a crossover, Deadpool and Pooh, so it's Deadpool.
Nice.
So I just walk around and fuck with everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think at one point I'm planning to walk around with an Infinity Gauntlet and just say, okay, where's the Kingdom of Hearts 4 royalties? Let's go.
That's perfect.
But it's funny because, when it's adults, you can say whatever, do whatever and whatnot. But when it's, of course, kids, you got to be
really careful.
Oh, yeah. You got to be really careful. And I think it's also funny because I think one time someone like shoved a baby in my arms and took a photo. And I was just like, I'm more scared of this than all the grenades I'm carrying. And they took a photo and I had my mask on, but the whole time I'm like, don't drop this. Don't drop this. Yeah. Don't drop this. I was like, why would you do this? I was like, this is a child, not a purse.
Yeah. I've had some funny interactions that way because I've been cosplaying a long time. One of the other characters that I do is actually Snow White, which has
oh boy,
she's a fantastic character, but her voice is very, if I have to do it for a long period of time, it is very annoying. But I was with a couple of my friends and I turned around, we were listening to Disney music and we were listening to You're Welcome. And there's the little Maui rap in the middle of the song. And I turned around and in the voice for Snow White did the whole rap.
What?
My friends could not handle it. It was probably one of the funniest things I've ever done in my life.
That's awesome.
And I, to this day, get questions to do that just to blow people's minds. Because it's so weird and out of character, but it's so funny.
Oh, 100%.
Obviously, I don't do that in front of kids, but for adults, it's funny.
So would you say that you also can't lie down at Snow White at a convention? Because then it gets a little weirder. Just out of curiosity.
I would say most likely I can't lie down in any of the costumes because I am usually in a full corset underneath the costumes.
Yeah.
Those are steel boned and about as tight as I can handle them, which is pretty small to begin with. But I actually, because I sew, I have issues with my back sometimes. And that day at Terrificon, I couldn't wear the white corset that I usually wear under Mary Poppins because my back was having such an issue that day. I couldn't even put it on, and I was really upset that morning that I couldn't wear it. But generally,
one of our fans is apparently requesting that you do the Snow White Moana rap.
Oh,
guys, no. That was a spur of the moment, never gonna happen again. Can you, I guess, because we've saw the video, but okay, can you do something in your Snow White voice? Is that possible?
Absolutely. What is it you want to hear? That's the question I'm going to ask.
You know what? Anything. Can you can you whistle while you work? Maybe is that possible?
Just whistle while you work. And cheerfully together we can tidy up the place. Just hum a merry tune. It won't take long when there's a song to help you set the pace.
I suddenly feel a need to clean this room. Leo, we're going on break. I got to clean. This is fantastic. So I have to ask because we don't know how much more time you have, and we assume that you're very famous now. So we're gonna remember. Like, hey, do you remember that time that and then Rose was on? Oh yeah, she blew up. Like she's in Disney now. Like big deal, man.
Oh, I wish.
So besides Michael, have there been any other really awesome, not just in Mary Poppins, but maybe Snow White, other guys' plays? What's another great moment that was just like, is this happening? Is this happening? Did I die? Like,
Actually,
is this my dream?
He's the first, and he's the only one. Yeah.
Wow.
So
high bar.
Yeah. And the funny thing is, because of Terrificon, I have actually been invited as a guest to Fan Expo with the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society.
That's awesome.
So I will be there on Sunday, and oddly enough, Michael Rooker will be there as well.
Oh yeah, you guys are best buddies.
I'm telling you, something's gonna happen for you.
You should just give him a little thing of sugar as a memento.
The person who actually invited me was mentioning that they were like, you need to bring a sugar packet and a spoon. Because of COVID, obviously, but he was like, yeah, bring a sugar packet and bring a spoon, and just give that to him
together with a little ribbon.
Yes, I'll take a red ribbon, tie them both together. Yeah, it's gonna have to happen.
So are you working? Oh yeah, everybody loved the voice. People are yes, and I'm just like we know she's not doing it again. One time, guys.
In that little spoon, Drew, I'm sorry I didn't interrupt for just a second.
No, you're good, buddy.
Spoon, it has to have like your Instagram thing on it. So
yeah, screw business cards, business spoons.
Time, bro. You got business spoons. You don't know.
That's
what's gonna
perfect.
happen. Watch.
Yes. No, that sounds about right.
So
magical.
What are you working on? Are you working on anything that we can keep an eye on? Are you working on anything new, or are you just like, nope, I've got my stable of costumes. This is it.
I'm actually always working on costumes, believe it or not. Right now, I'm working on Anya from the movie Anastasia, which was a huge part of my childhood. So I'm doing the yellow ball gown from Once Upon a December.
Oh, nice.
With the blue sash, and I went and bought the Together in Paris necklace, and I have a crown that looks a lot like the one that she wears in the movie. It's not identical, but it's close enough that I'm happy with it. So
it's always so funny because there's always that argument that she's essentially a Disney princess, but people are like, yeah, exactly. But people are like, oh, it's DreamWorks, and I was like, oh yes, and it's about. It's like, right, that's fine. It's
20th Century Fox, and I know this because I've had this argument with people, and
she was ready, guys.
with the acquisition, she is owned by Disney now. So she is a Disney princess, and I will not stand for any Anya hate because she is absolutely a Disney princess.
Guys, we've settled the argument now.
Yep.
There's proof. The same thing goes for Road to El Dorado. They're Disney too now.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I will stand for nothing else.
Yes,
Even
ma'am.
Jessica Alba as Susan Storm. She's a Disney princess too.
You know, listen, there were mistakes made. It was the early 2000s, okay?
But with that logic, though, now Princess Leia is now a Disney princess.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
absolutely.
But Leo, at this rate, you're going to become a Disney princess at this rate, okay? The way that Disney is going, like, you know, come on, man. So you're a Mary Poppins person, and I just have to ask, how did you feel about the sequel, the one with Emily Blunt as the character?
Okay. I actually, people ask me this all the time, and
I can tell.
I always start with their live action versions or their remakes. I haven't generally liked them.
Mhm.
However, the reason I think I don't like them is because they try to tell the same story in a different way. And I don't think it always works. However, with Mary Poppins Returns, which I really did love, I loved the music, I loved everything about it. I felt that they succeeded with that one because they were telling a separate story. They weren't trying to tell the story of Jane and Michael Banks. They were telling the story of Annabelle and Georgie and Michael's children and Jane after Michael and Jane after they grew up, and they weren't telling the same story anymore. So in that aspect, yes, they absolutely succeeded, and I thought the movie was fantastic. So that's my take on it.
Okay, there you go. Okay. You guys have anything else? I mean, I could keep dominating the conversation, but you know, you're also here too. So,
well, I mean, you guys definitely always come up with awesome questions. Did you have a chance to see Suicide Squad yet?
I did. I actually watched it the other day with my mom, and
I haven't yet. That's why. No, that's why I'm reacting. I haven't yet.
Okay.
So I'm literally the minority here. So that's fine.
Now, I loved. My family has very mixed views on it. I actually loved it, taking it out of the what I usually do when I watch a movie is I take it out of the context of anything before or anything after, view it as a movie itself, and then compare it to what's around. And I found the movie to be really enjoyable. At points there were kind of like really moments, like why do this? Why is this what's been led up to? But and obviously there were some things that as a fan of the characters, I was just kind of like, no, I wasn't happy with. But it was a great story, and they told it very well. I think everyone that was involved in the feature was fantastic. So I really don't have anything to really complain about with the movie. I thought the story was fantastic.
Well, it's James Gunn, you know.
There really isn't much you can complain with.
To go into details, did you have to like take a nap or something?
You know what? I think I am just going to mute, and I'm just going to let you guys talk, and
we'll wave you back in.
Yeah, just some sort of signal or something. You know, hand puppets. You know,
there we go. And
okay, let me just 1 second. Let me just
signal for you.
Yeah, and he'll just sit there and look pretty.
Alrighty then. Come on, Leo. Let's go.
Okay, so real quick, I read today that the Harley Quinn key scene, she did that for real, and I think it was like on the first take.
I heard about that too, and I went back and rewatched that scene specifically because I was like, no, there's no way.
Yeah, my wife, the same thing. She's like, really? She really did that? You know, it's just.
I mean, I can believe it, but wow.
What's that?
It's the whole gun scene that she
the
did
whole
one take?
The whole key scene
when she unlocks herself from being when she's captive.
Okay, I gotcha.
Yeah,
that was awesome.
I mean, the flexibility she has better than I've ever had in my life.
Yeah, it's uncanny.
Yeah.
But from the beginning of this movie, it was just rock solid with action.
Oh yeah.
And I'll say my personal Harley that I live with was very upset with Michael for killing that bird right in the beginning.
Yeah.
But that bird got revenge, didn't it?
Oh, it did.
Or at least one of its family's members did.
Yeah. I thought that was kind of ironic the way they used that, but I was very sad that all these big names were put in the movie just for that 10 minutes, and then they were all killed off. I was crying. But
it was a Suicide Squad movie. You had to expect a lot of people to be casualties of war.
Yeah, but I expected that after, maybe a half hour, maybe like 40 minutes after you see more of their characters, not literally in like 10 minutes.
Surprise!
Well, I mean, like, the way it played off, like Pete Davidson, you figured he was going to be like a regular character, and he's like, he was the first one that got killed. And
oh yeah,
Nathan Fillion, oh my God, his character was so ridiculous. It was
did.
Which that was developed just for this movie. He's not DC canon.
Really? I didn't know that.
Wow.
Yeah,
I read that. Like low grade guy that they used once or twice.
No, they from what I read today, he was developed just for the movie.
And what is funny, Leo, I didn't notice it the first time, but because I've watched the movie twice now because I was looking for Easter eggs.
Yeah.
That his arms actually had like little sockets, like as if he would.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Joy. That cracked me up. I thought that was hilarious.
And was he doing like the Three Stooges slap? It looked like he was trying to do that.
I don't know what he was trying to do. Like punching guys. They're just shooting his arms. He's like,
Yeah.
So my curiosity is, obviously he can feel everything when his arms are detached. Does that mean that it's like his body is with his arms and that's how he's feeling everything? Or is it that his arms are just extended in nothing? That's what I'm curious about.
I don't know. It's kind of mind control. Maybe because his mind is controlling the arms, that is the connection to the pain.
Maybe.
I'm sure, with trying to look at it scientifically, there could be like some quantum theory type of thing, where they found out like the quantum entanglement where you can have like
Go ahead, Ant-Man. Let's go.
Well, no. This is a real thing.
Again. Go ahead. Say it again.
No, quantum entanglement. This is where they're. It's a real thing. This is where they're trying to do quantum computers. Where
no, I'm just being silly. I'm sorry. Leo.
No, I know, but they it's like a mirrored atom, and they found out that they've separated an atom by, I think, a couple 100 feet. And basically, it's like an on-off switch. Whatever you do to one happens to the other, even though it's separated. And they think that they can do quantum, because it's just ones and zeros for binary. They think they can do that with quantum computers. So yeah, sorry, that's a little deep there, but that's my thought. Is
you nerded way deep on that one, Leo.
Sorry. That's my job though.
That was really cool though. Really interesting information.
Yeah, and then it gets real crazy when what the hell is it called? That atoms react differently if they're viewed upon.
Mm-hmm.
There's like a Dr. Adam video series that you can watch. That's pretty crazy. But you know what? That's too dorky. So back with Suicide Squad. So Eilee, what was your favorite part of the movie?
Ooh.
Or is there a scene that really sticks out that
You know what? There is. And this is just from personal experience, but I absolutely loved when Harley was in the bird cage and she was feeding the birds. I was very fortunate when I was growing up. My parents were able to occasionally go on like really nice vacations, and we had gone to Florida and we went to Discovery Cove. So I've actually done what she was doing in that video. And that scene itself just kind of like brought me back to being, you know, a kid, and back when my hair was much, much longer than it is now. And, you know, there were birds climbing in my hair, and I just really miss that time because, you know, I was younger and enjoying. I didn't really have so much that I had to like worry about and had to concern myself with. So I just missed being like a little kid. But
So the birds
yeah,
you really connected with.
yeah, I'm a bit of a dork with that, but yeah.
I was really mad at that general when he dispersed those birds.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a little heartbreaking there. It's
Yeah, that was really sad.
yeah.
Don't worry, Starro got him for them.
Oh,
Yes.
totally.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
and that scene with Harley, her fight scene with all like the animation, like the
Oh my
animated
God,
birds and
yeah.
everything.
Oh,
Yeah,
that
that's
was really cool.
Yeah. What about you, Velvet
For
Joker?
me, Leo, of course I love the Harley parts.
Yeah.
Being such a Joker file that I am. But the whole thing with the guy that she sort of momentarily fell in love with, and the jokes and the thing about his schlong, and I apologize, Eilee.
No, you're okay.
And how she like murders him, and she's like, "They were just signs, and you just can't kill kids."
Yeah.
Which is awesome. I love that. And Leo, I don't know if you put it together, but for me, like when all the rats attack Starro, it felt very much like when the monkeys in Batman Ninja were attacking the what was it, like the Joker robot?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I felt like they were borrowing a little bit over there. I don't know if I was just reaching too far on the connection, but
Maybe just
a little bit of a reach.
maybe a little bit.
A little bit. And of course, poor Starro at the end, he was like,
Oh yeah.
I just wanted to look at the stars. I was so happy.
Well, see, that's the thing with a lot of villains. Not all of them, but a lot of them have very very sad backstory moments where they're just like, this is all I wanted, and you see what they've become, and it just makes you sad. You see why they became the villain and why they're doing what they're doing, and you just feel bad for a lot of them.
Yeah.
And feeling bad, I'm gonna link that to David Dashamalian as the Polka Dot Man.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh my God! First of all, he was brilliant.
Amazing. Yeah.
Character. And that he kept seeing his mother everywhere was awesome.
That was great.
It was like psychological, and then when he did like when he was so infected with the dots, he looked like Eric Stoltz in The Mask, but glowing. I didn't feel like that was too far of a reach, though. What do you think, Eilee?
Probably not. No, I could see that. So I think you're good.
Yeah, I mean, I could talk about this movie like scene for scene. It was just, I thought it was brilliant. I know, some of the stuff was crass, but I'm a huge wise ass, and I loved almost every moment of this movie.
Yeah, it was really enjoyable. I had a really good time watching it. My family was like, yeah, no, it was okay. And I was like, no, it really was good. As, a movie removed from everything else. And even as a Suicide Squad movie, I will probably get some hate for that. But I thought it was a very, very good movie as a whole.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I totally agree too. And Sean Gunn, I need to see video of him as Weasel licking the glass. That must be hilarious because he did the mocap for a Weasel, and he also did.
No.
He was also Calendar Man.
Oh no. That's something that has to be out there on the internet somewhere.
Yeah.
Just somewhere. Just somewhere.
Like continuing story, like he goes on to murder a bunch of children or something horrible.
Yeah.
Maybe.
A little dark at times. I apologize.
No worries. I absolutely loved King Shark.
Yeah.
Oh,
he
we didn't
was
talk about
great.
Hand. Yeah. I got hands. That was brilliant.
Yeah.
One word.
I was a little disappointed that, I love the King Shark in the Harley Quinn cartoon where it's what the hell is that comedian's name?
Was that the
Fun.
signal? I just
No,
was that the
not
signal?
yet.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
5 more minutes.
Oh, okay. Jerk.
Or unless you want us to ruin things for you.
Ron Funches. That's it.
Yes, Ron Fun.
Yeah, that King Shark is hilarious, but I do understand where they went with Sylvester Stallone and his character or portrayal of King Shark. I think there's room enough for a world with both.
Yeah, I'd love to see a King Shark movie.
Yeah, he has his own comic now that came out last week.
Yeah,
Oh, cool.
I read the first one. It was pretty good.
Yeah, I have it set aside for myself. I'm gonna read it.
On the way.
Yeah. There's some other comic book news we'll talk about in a little bit, but anything else for Suicide Squad? I mean,
I don't know. We usually rate these things, Leo. Now, Eilee, we give a rating system of up to 5 crowbars.
5 crowbars.
Up to 5 crowbars. So if you
Okay.
had to rate this movie, what would you rate?
I'm gonna say I'm gonna go with a 4. Not quite a 5, but I'm gonna go with a 4 crowbars for this one. It was pretty good.
All right. No?
I saw your rating on Facebook.
Yeah.
And
I'm sticking with that.
you're sticking to
4.5. 4.5 crowbars.
4.5 crowbars. Yeah, I'd have to go with for a DC movie, definitely a 4.5 crowbars. Yeah.
Yeah. So, that's a good question. With as far as DC movies goes, Harley and I kind of think this and the Snyder Cut are number 1 right now.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, kind of tied.
Oh yeah, definitely. That I would absolutely agree with that.
All right. Should we bring Drew back in? Are we done with dirty details? Drew!
Come
Oh,
back.
he's doing his nails. Drew!
Maybe I message him.
Yeah.
Keep the conversation going while I message him.
So now, Elise, what's your day gig?
My day gig. Well, I hate to say it's really boring, but I work at a fabric store. That's
okay.
all I do.
That worked out
boring
perfect
about
for you.
Yeah, so I work at a relatively small fabric store for right now, and I make clothes and costumes on the side and have fun and sing wherever I'm allowed.
Very cool.
I'm back. I mean,
Welcome.
did you guys enjoy chatting and just talking about this great movie that I'm probably going to see soon?
Yes.
Like nerds. So, nerds. I had some questions. Hold on.
Well, while you think of them, I don't know.
Wait a minute.
I don't know if this is news for today, but it kept on popping up on my feed that Tim Drake is bi.
Okay.
Like
So,
I mean, I'm not saying anything's wrong with that, but
no, they're fictional characters. They can be anything.
oh yeah, but it was like a ton of posts on my feed were popping up that I don't know if it's the most recent issue, but he was like on a date with this other boy, and like the internet was like going crazy. Like, why do you need to go crazy for that?
Well, because we're talking about the same fan base that loves the fact that DC keeps featuring Dick Grayson's butt. Like the fact that is a thing. Like they're like, listen, they should be called Asswing, not Nightwing. I'm like, straight out of Gotham, y'all. Listen, and again, these are fictional characters. It is what it is. Tim Drake is still one of the best Robins that was ever created. They're all great, and that's the best thing about that character. But at this point, I just feel like sometimes nerds will be nerds, and what I mean by that is they will get mad about anything. There is very rarely a decision that is like universally. There's always that one person who's like, you know what, I don't like this. And I was like, that's great. And then I'm just like, cool. Mute.
Yeah. That's every community. Every community has like the gatekeepers or just the angry people who are just like, no, I don't like this. This is not right. And I'm just like, come on.
Even Disney, which is, you know, wholesome and whatnot. You got people. I was like, listen, Cinderella, when did you become the evil stepmom? Because you're giving me those vibes. You know, it's always those people. They were like, I don't think you're Disney enough. I was like, are you sure? Because I'm more Disney than you right now. Wholesome, evil, different.
I turn around, I just say, you have a magical day and move on. Because
Basically,
that's all you can do. That's all you can do.
You have a magical day. And in Disney, it's like, you can go fuck yourself. All right, cool, got it. So I have a question for our guest. What is, and this is maybe hard, so, you know, like, what is your favorite Disney movie? And what's your favorite that you feel doesn't get enough cred?
Ooh, okay. My favorite Disney movie since I was little has always been Beauty and the Beast. And that is because naturally I have hazel eyes. And Belle is the only Disney princess with hazel eyes. I've went and looked. She is absolutely the only one. So I've always felt connected to her. I was very bookish as a kid, so I really connected with her character, and it's always been my favorite. As far as a Disney movie that doesn't get enough credit, that's gonna have to be the Aristocats. That movie is, you know, when I was a kid, it was absolutely fantastic. Even now, I love to go back and watch it just for nostalgia. I love the storyline of it. I think it's just fantastic.
Is that the one, the Siamese cat? We are.
Yes, that's the one that they've recently censored.
Sure I was putting it all together.
Yes. And I agree with the censoring. I think that now that joke, if it was considered a joke at the time, what the reference was very in poor taste nowadays.
Right.
But I think the movie as a whole, though, it still stands up even with that removed. Because if you take it out, it's not hurting the story at all. It's still a good story.
I mean, I guess. I mean, I think for me, I feel like, just in my opinion, I feel like if you just had that disclaimer in the beginning, to me, kind of like what Warner Brothers does with their old cartoons, like, listen, we know this was this is offensive now, but we have to kind of have that because it shows how far we've come. I mean, and a lot of early Disney had that. I mean, you could literally count off both your hands. A lot of the early Disney things are questionable. I mean, Peter Pan, why is the red man red? I was like, okay, wow. Okay, that is questionable.
I was never a fan of that song when I was a kid. I always found that really, really strange. But yeah, and that's with every older movie. I always found that anything from that time period, even some a little more recently, it's still, you know, very, very much in the time period. So they made jokes that made sense then that now just they don't sit well.
Yeah, a little out of taste.
Yeah.
So
plenty of Bugs Bunny, which was Warner Brothers, did the same thing.
It's like that. So I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Like I see, you guys had me on the bench so long, so eager to play. I'm tripping the ball. Because again, it was like Disney. I was like, I also grew up in a Disney home, so you know. So now I'm like, it's Disney World.
And would you ever do a Disney villain?
Oh, that's a good
Have you
question.
ever done a Disney villain?
Ooh, would I ever do a Disney villain? I mean, absolutely. Would I?
Cruella,
the question
perhaps?
is, you know what? After watching that new movie, absolutely.
Good.
Oh boy.
That movie was fantastic, and I loved every second of it. As a designer, they got a lot of things right, and seeing that on screen was really rewarding for me, because that's what I sit and do. I will sit with a sketchbook and I will draw things up I generally don't have the resources to just go and pick whatever I want, to make whatever I want. But it was very, very accurate in a lot of the ways of how things work when you're making things, how things have to get done. And a lot of the cutthroatness of the business is really well portrayed there. So, I mean, I was very, very in love with that movie, and I would absolutely kill for that spotted coat that she wears at her final fashion show. That's definitely another one that I have to work on.
I see. Okay, guys. You know, we got the next villain there.
I've turned her.
Indeed. Thank you, Smiley. So here's another question. What? Because I feel like everybody has one. They don't want to admit it, but not every Disney movie is perfect. What is a Disney movie that you just think is okay? It's fine, you know. But you know, I'm sort of people are like, oh, that's so great. And I'm just like, it's okay. It's just you didn't connect with it as much.
That one's gonna have to be Sleeping Beauty for me.
Thank you. Oh my god. Oh my god. It's so boring.
I felt like it was all right. It was the music, and as a singer, the music was fantastic. I can't, discredit the music, but and I mean, visually it was great, but the story itself, a girl falls asleep for a very, very long time, and I don't know. It just didn't sit with me the way that a lot of other Disney movies did. It wasn't. I don't know. It wasn't in my favorites. I think the character of Aurora is interesting, but she gets the least amount of lines and screen time of all the Disney princesses, so you really don't know her character too well.
Yeah, it's that. Oh man, thank you, God. I'm sorry. I've saying that for years. Be like, oh no, it's great. It's great. I was like, listen, Maleficent is the better character. She literally controls demons. Like,
yeah,
amazing.
Yeah, I gotta give that to you.
Yeah, gotta give that. So, would you ever, now that you've met her, would you ever do a Yondu version of Mary Poppins? Now,
I have gotten asked this, and actually before we went to the convention, my dad did suggest that to me. And if it wasn't for the fact that I would have to paint myself blue in that white dress, I probably would have done it. Yeah. But because that dress it took me so long to make and to get right, I will absolutely not be painting myself blue in that costume.
Fair enough.
Would I, however, make like the regular nanny costume and do that? I could see myself doing that. I could absolutely see myself doing a blue Mary Poppins in the future.
Because that'll just furtherly make his day.
Oh, absolutely, I'm sure.
Like, I mean, especially you gotta, especially if you get his number, you gotta just like, I'm just texting my BFF, Michael Rooker, progress photos. We got a text chain going. Yeah.
Cool. I've gotten a lot of people asking me if I have his number, and I actually don't. That is not something he easily gives out. Now, of course, I didn't ask for it because that's just weird. I met him for like 5 minutes. It was not the time and place to ask that. But he is very nice, and I'm sure if I went and tagged him in a post on Facebook or something with myself in a Mary Poppins costume dressed as a Mary Poppins Yondu, I'm sure he would love that.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Just DM him on Insta.
Yeah, he'll remember. You'd be like, oh, hello there, Michael. Hello. Greetings.
Well, you're gonna be with him at another con. Maybe you should start going to follow him around on in cons.
Subtly.
Yeah.
Subtly,
yeah.
Subtly, just
East Coast cons, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
I do plan to see if I can reach out to him going to Fan Expo and see, if he's interested in just sitting and chatting again, because that was just so wonderful. And I walked out of that encounter with him absolutely shaking.
Oh yeah.
Because I had never had anything like that before happen, and I was sitting there with my dad, and I said to him, I don't care whatever else happens today. This is the best day ever. And I thought the day couldn't get topped. And it just kept getting better.
That happens at Terrificon. I don't know if you guys had. I've had a beautiful moment like that at Terrificon myself. Guys, have you had anything like that?
So many.
Well, yeah, the person, you want to talk about ambiance. This guy's laugh is so good it annoys people at the con.
At New York Comic-Con, listen, I make famous people hate me.
It's true. That's literally his business card.
Yeah.
No, I just, it's funny because I remember when I met Kevin Conroy, and I was dressed as old Bruce Wayne from Batman Beyond, and he knew, and he shook my hand, and I was like, can you do the thing? And he said it in his voice, the welcome to my world. I was like, I had your same reaction. I was like, that's it, I'm good. Rest of the con, I don't care. No one knows who I am. Everyone keeps thinking I'm someone's grandpa. Someone thought I was the grandad from Up. I was like, I don't have any balloons. That doesn't make any sense. I was like, I'm good. I had this moment. This is all I need. This is all I need. It's all I want. It's all whatever. But yeah, it's the best when they recognize and they're like, and they're like, oh wow, your accent is really good and everything. You're like,
Yeah.
But, Drew, actually, you reminded me that the year that Kevin was at the Kevin Conroy was at the show, I went and introduced myself on Friday night without the makeup. And he was like, oh, yeah, they warned me about you. I'm like, well, me without any makeup on, just trying to be a nice guy. So if I'm around you tomorrow and there's a lot of laughing, I'm just giving you the heads up now.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's the best thing about Terrificon is it's just so personal. Like you feel you can talk to people.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And then shit like that happens, and you're just like, okay, cool. I don't need coffee today.
Yeah.
You can talk to people. You also can move your elbows and not bump into people. That's something I don't feel like you get at New York a lot anymore. Maybe now.
Well, I mean, even like Rhode Island. Rhode Island was getting to the point where you're all scrunched in.
Oh yeah, no, where the fire marshal regularly has to be like, we need to let some go before we let some in.
Yeah,
we need to bleed it out a little, drain it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's plenty of room at the convention center.
Well, I think it's a little more than that because the way Mitch runs the con, I mean, just the map, like you can actually find people because he has that map. He tells you exactly where everybody's going to be, and for the people that are only going for a certain thing, you can get in and get out, rather easily. You know where your favorite people are going to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's a maniac, that man. So the entire team of 20, he does it one day. One man, Mitch.
Yeah. Other huge teams. He's got a handful of people that just volunteer the day of.
Pretty much. It's just like you. Let's go. You're the volunteers for today. You know what you're doing? I'll tell you on the way. Okay, someone get me some. It's like he becomes J. Jonah Jameson. Get me some photos of Spider-Man. Get me some coffee.
And then there's people that are volunteers and don't even know it. Like I didn't know I was volunteered to. I was talking to one of his friends, and he's like, when are you going to be over there doing the videos this year? And I'm like, well, I won't be able to make it this year because my camera died, and I don't have $1,500 to buy another one. And it's just it's like, okay, I'll let Rich know that we need to find another camera person. I'm like, was I really supposed
Did I say yes?
Was I even asked?
Did I have a conversation that I left in the middle of that I've forgotten? And I said yes, because fill in the blanks here. What's going on?
Yeah. But I normally do record the panels when I go there, but it's it's just what we do. But it's this year kind of sucked because.
So Eilee, what's every cosplayer has like a dream costume, whether it's if you had the funds, you had an extra 24, 48 hours to the week that you already do, what would be the dream? It would
be more than that. So I know I was bashing the live actions a little bit earlier, but it's gonna be the 2015 Cinderella ball gown the blue one.
Yeah.
I think it's just absolutely, as a costume designer, it is absolutely spectacular. I have been trying.
Oh,
What?
lost her.
Yep.
Right.
What a cliffhanger. I feel like, do you guys want to wrap it up soon so we can discuss some of the book? Because it's already past an hour. I mean, don't get me wrong. She's fantastic. We can keep talking all the time. But I think some of our fans want us to talk some comics.
Yes.
Right? Did you guys have a fun chat about the Suicide Squad?
We did, and we can't wait for you to watch it so we can get your.
Well,
your
I mean,
feelings.
come on. Don't you remember how ecstatic I was when I finally watched all of Loki? You know, all the jokes.
Well, Leo, I mean, there is a dorks section for that other thing that you connected me with. Is Drew now worthy? I mean, you know.
What is the word? What hammers are you guys handing out? Am I worthy?
I'm lost.
Where I watched said movie we're talking about.
Oh yeah. Drew is worthy.
Right.
Thank you. I'm so.
Have you poked around there, or did you just?
HB.
Oh, maybe. And we're back.
Did you go through collections?
I guess.
Oh.
It looks like it's having fun.
Hey.
Yeah, so it would have to be the 2015 ball gown. As far as dream costumes, I've been spending hours just researching different ways to make the petticoat that would go underneath that.
Mm-hmm.
It can't be just a simple hoop skirt. It obviously has to be a bit more entertaining than that. So I know all the fundamentals of where I want to go with it and what I want to do with it. It's just a matter of getting funds at this point.
Okay, cool. Well, I hope you somehow win the lottery and can afford all that fabric. And I think you just need to carry a sign. It's, if you step on my dress, I'm turning you into a pumpkin.
That would be perfect. Yeah.
You know. So also I have to ask, because Disney cosplayers usually have like a group together, or they do like a group shoot and whatnot. Is there like if someone recruited you Avengers style for a Disney group, what would be the thing that would be like the Nathan Fillion picking up the phone just saying yes? Like if someone's like, oh, we think you'd be perfect for this, and you'd be like, yes, click.
I mean,
and it doesn't have to be Disney. It could also be just cosplay, whatever.
That's a hard one, because I feel like the one character where I feel the most at home is Mary Poppins. So I feel like that's probably the easiest one for me to say.
Mm-hmm.
However, if I was, that one's really, really hard. It's got to be Mary Poppins, I think.
Okay, Mary Poppins, y'all.
Mary Poppins, yeah. Now, Eilee, when Fan Expo is that this weekend?
That's actually it's the first weekend in September, I believe. I will be there with the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society on September 5th. And my family and I will be up there for the weekend, so I will be up there with some other costumes as well on the 4th and the 3rd.
Full weekend. So who else do you have? Who's on the lineup? Can you reveal?
I'm hoping to bring Anastasia with me. And I'm trying to decide on the last one. I'm kind of torn between a couple. I have some newer ones that I haven't brought anywhere yet because of COVID. I'm thinking maybe I have a Wendy Darling I'd love to bring somewhere. Or maybe some other ones that I just have kind of socked away. Or maybe I'll just wear Mary Poppins all 3 days.
And listen, all I'm saying, for your Anastasia, you gotta see if you can bring like a stuffed Bartok.
Yes.
You know.
Yes. I will
just,
have to find a Bartok.
You know. Oh yeah, you know. It's so funny. I didn't realize that Rasputin was Christopher Lloyd till like years later, and I was just like, genius. Or that Hank Azaria was the voice of Bartok.
Mhm.
I was just like, God, this movie had so much talent.
I'm gonna do you one better. So the singing voice for Rasputin, I'm pretty sure about this one, is Jim Cummings, the voice of Pooh.
Of course.
Yeah.
The I know he had that weird sort of controversy a couple of years ago, but I mean, when I met him, that is the nicest, most pleasant man ever, and it's so weird how he can just launch into voices. He can go from Darkwing to Winnie the Pooh in like a second, and it's just like, oh my God, the childhood.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's totally fantastic. All right, guys, I think I have all my questions answered. So, do you have anything else?
I don't have anything else. Do you, Velvet Joker?
No, I'm good. I think that we covered pretty much everything. Anything that you want to tell the masses out here, Miss Eilee, before we go off into a fan expo and hopefully your new famous life as the best bud of Michael Rooker.
Just remember us. Should we see you at a con? Remember, you're like, oh yeah, you're one of the 3 loud dorks that I interviewed back in August. Oh yeah, you're the one who got left out from the Suicide Squad. I was like, yes, I did. Thank you.
I think the only thing I would have to say to everybody out there is I hope you all have a supercalifragilisticexpialidocious day.
She said the word.
So we urge you, everybody, to follow Eilee. We have information for her in the show notes up above or down below, depending on where you're watching or listening to us. Your Facebook, your YouTube. You're also on Instagram as well. And I want to thank you so much for joining us. It was an absolute pleasure talking to you. And I'm following you now, and we'll definitely keep a lookout for more of you and Michael Rooker.
Actually, I have one more question for you. So, can you confirm or deny that you definitely have a rivalry with Nanny McPhee, or is that just
I will neither confirm nor deny any association to Nanny McPhee.
Okay, cool. Because that's been following you your entire career, Mary.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
And so people just want to know, because some people have said one is good, one is better. I was like, it doesn't matter. They're both British. They redeemed the children at the end.
Yes.
So that was the one.
They redeemed the families at the end.
Yes, they redeemed the family at the end. And then just disappear with magic. So okay, thank you. That was it. That's good. Thank you. I'm good. I just had to. I'm sorry. I was like, yeah.
I didn't even know what you were talking about. I don't know who Danny McPhee is.
No, Nanny McPhee, the Emma Thompson. Nanny McPhee. The one, the British nanny who's like hideous, and then as it gets along, she teaches the kids manners and whatnot. She gets less hideous.
All right. Less Disney, more comics.
Right. Sorry. So, Night of the Living Deadpool.
Yeah.
Oh.
Night of Living Deadpool.
Yeah.
I hate you both.
Well, he could have been a Deadpool later on.
You know what's always funny when people say that, they'll post online and they'll forget the H. So I was like, I'm not Mr. Hanky in a Pooh costume. That would be pretty fun. Howdy ho! Gosh, you're looking all nice and flowery. But I think what I loved is that this, first thing first, I'm a huge Deadpool fan. I mean, it's no way, what? But I have to say that a lot of the times I feel the miniseries are either too on the nose or not enough. Like they some people don't know how to properly balance Wade in a way that's entertaining to a different story. Like they'll either just overdo it with the pop culture references, or then they'll not do it enough. So I feel like all the greats maintain a certain balance. And I enjoyed what Cullen Bunn did here, because essentially this is a gigantic parody of The Walking Dead right from the beginning, when we start in a black and white zombie world.
Right. But instead of waking up in a hospital, he wakes up from a chimichanga coma.
It's very Wade.
Yeah. Is there a sign that says dead inside somewhere?
No. if they did, I mean, and then like even this, like the world was color back then. Like it's just so funny, the way that it was done, and like it's just nice reading a subtle read of Deadpool. Like there was nothing in here that was like, oh my god, that's so funny, ha ha ha. But it was still entertaining. Like it wasn't one of those books where you just stop reading midway because you're like, I don't need to see how this ends. I'm already done.
Yeah, it was super enjoyable. Like you said, Wade being Wade, just his commentary, and but it gets there are a couple emotional parts in this which kind of surprised me, which I didn't really think I was going to get out of a Deadpool comic.
And that's the thing I always love is when you have that emotional component, because I feel like a lot of people will just mislabel Wade as he's an insane funny man who just annoys the crap out of the Marvel universe, but he had some depth and he has a lot of tragedy to him, and it's something that originally we were going to discuss the Dead Presidents arc, which is part of Jerry Dugan and Brian Posen's Deadpool run, which I cannot recommend more enough. And while being really great, it was a very emotional story from beginning, middle, and end. And there were some moments there that really hit the heartstrings. And I agree, like this scene, like not just scene, this comic, you really feel for the characters. And I think it's again the kind of thing that Wade feels is the same way I feel like Wolverine does, where he's always going to outlive everybody. It's just his lot in life to constantly be alive when everybody around him is, there you go, funny, there, Wolverine there. Everybody dies. And what I just enjoy is Wade's tenacity to just constantly never take anything serious, but just in a great way. Like, this is his filtering mechanism. This is how he deals with the fact that his life is literally an immortal nightmare. He's got to make jokes, because if he doesn't, he's literally gonna lose his mind. So,
well, interestingly enough, different from The Walking Dead, we actually got the reason how it happened in this.
Yeah,
which was surprising, and surprising that they just pulled AIM out of the
and it's funny because it's not the first time that Deadpool has dealt with AIM. There's a wonderful series, I believe it's Deadpool Merc with the Mouth, written by Victor Grischler and drawn by the now late Bong Dazo, which I cannot more recommend because it is truly a hysterical miniseries where AIM basically hires Deadpool to get his Marvel Zombies counterpart. And it's just a giant, big adventure because, of course, Wade bonds with himself. Because who's going to know Wade better than Wade? And AIM is just like, excuse me, we paid for you for a job. And you're basically hearing, I was like, dude, it's Deadpool. Did you really think he was going to do it? Like, come on. This, to me, was very much kind of spoofing, I think, Negan and the Hilltop. Or like the Whisperers, you have these people like, oh, look at this town. This is so nice. Everything, we're going to burn it down.
Sinners.
Yeah. I was just like, oh my God, it's a bunch of Mrs. Doubtfires.
Listen, Wade was super logical in that too. He's like, so you're saying that if they, for fucking up society, they're sinners. For starting society over in this really natural way, they're sinners. And like he's like, this makes no sense. And then of course he's beheaded them all because he goes down and makes friends with the townspeople.
Well, actually, wouldn't they be more? What's the name of that group? They looked all normal. Had Tasha Yar in there, and it turned out they're all cannibals.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're thinking of the ones that ate. God, is it Herschel? No, not Herschel. The old guy, the one with the hat. The ones that ate him, they were cannibals.
No, they ate the guy who played the.
Oh, you're talking about the show. I'm thinking the comic.
Yeah,
dude.
the show. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, I still need to read the comic, which is unfortunate.
It's all good.
Yeah.
But
Look at those ladies with the.
oh my god, with the machine guns.
Take
Oh, hello, dear. We're gonna burn it all down now.
the spoils for ourselves.
And it was so crazy. Like these, I loved this because these are all zombie references. You know, you've got like scrolling up, you've got the satellite coming in from space spores, which is kind of the Walking Dead explanation. You've got the evil monkeys, which was Outbreak. You've got Reanimator right here, and then you've got Evil Dead, kind of.
Yeah.
And even in one of the issues, when they were looking for a safe space, they came across the Evil Dead cabin.
Oh
And-
yeah.
You know, so like Cullen Bunn, who I've met, is a great writer in the fact that when I feel like he's left to do his own thing, I feel like he really performs very well. I know he had some issues working with DC during the Rebirth era. Like he started working for Aquaman, and then because I guess there was a lot of negative fan reaction, he was like he was done around issue 8. And he even concluded his run at Sinestro by issue 22. And then he's like, yeah, I'm not working for DC again. And I'm like, wow. It's like pulling the Kirby, going back to Marvel. Nice. Yeah, this was crazy. Like, and Rich, you're right. It sometimes is good when you have an explanation of this is what happened. It's kind of like Resident Evil. Like you see where it started. Although seeing Deadpool with the AIM mask on, I was like, God, it's such an absurd costume.
Yeah, it is.
Like I'm sorry. I feel like if I saw that at a convention, I'd be like, oh my God, honey, look, an evil beekeeper.
But it did prove to be humorous during the MODOK cartoon. Which
I got to watch more of that. I don't even think I've watched one episode. I saw like the trailers and some clips, but I think it's also. Can we just acknowledge that I think zombies, like some people are like, oh, running zombies. Like, don't get me wrong, a zombie running at you is terrifying, but I thought these were particularly terrifying. I mean, the fact that
exactly
they like it's Return of the Living Dead, you know. In that one, which was the punk
Goddamn screwdriver out of my head.
Yeah, which is like the punk one. Yeah, you just they talk, and they can talk, and they confirm that the reason they eat brains is to deal with the pain of being undead. And I was like, yeah, this is so much more terrifying than just.
Yeah. And how is like their last memory? So it's a mix between their last memories and you get the ones that, keep on saying like, kill me first or kill me next.
Mm-hmm. And then you get this idea that they're aware. I mean, look, Wade was kind of awake the whole time. And he's eating these people who have been nothing but welcoming and caring about him. And then the worst part is he comes back because his healing factor kicks in.
Yep.
But it's too late. The whole town's.
Yeah, that was horrendous.
It was always his lot in life.
That's truly scary, Drew and Leo, because they did say that there was a part of them they were just captive, like they were just kind of there for the ride while their bodies were eating other people.
Mm-hmm.
That's a little bit of a different twist that we haven't really seen on the zombies before. So again, to Cullen Bunn, tip our hat.
Yeah, absolutely. And then the artist Ramon Rosanas, I haven't seen him do anything. I thought he did a great job, and also props to, I guess, the Joe Sabino or whoever the inker or colorist was, because the juxtaposition of the color to the black and white is just fantastic, because it would be Wade, it makes him stand out even more.
Now, did the end was that from any zombie trope? or was that totally original? Because I don't think I've seen that before.
Yeah, I've never seen that either. That was a new one on me, but it's kind of oddly appropriate, I would say. Like him carrying around a zombie head is basically Deadpool Merc with a mouth, because that's basically what he did with Headpool. He would just carry him like a zombie football. So I just love this idea that even though this companion's brain is mush, he's still carrying him around, because to Wade, this is about as good as it gets as a friend. Although this was genius.
Putting the light, yeah.
Yeah, the zombie headlight.
Well, he wanted the scientist to give him the cure, or to help him get a cure.
I don't know about you, but I think AIM as a zombie, like, that's so much more terrifying than evil beekeeper. Like black and white zombie beekeeper. I was like, yep, no honey.
Yeah, that's a fun cosplay.
Yeah, right. No, it was great. And then, like you said, it was such a weird thing to see other clones of him. And then, like, he just doses himself with this cure, and then, you know, the weirdest thing happens.
The zombies eat him,
and then they become Deadpool.
Yeah, they all become like a piece of his essence.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we don't find that out until the next series, right? Because the return. Instead of hunger, there was my healing factor, my consciousness infecting zombie after zombie, an army of Deadpools growing one bite at a time.
It's basically what it is. It's
that grand.
Mm-hmm. And it's basically you're replacing one virus with another.
Yeah, but I didn't realize that there was a second part to that.
Oh, you know what it's kind of like? It's kind of like the ending, although I did not like this ending at all, of World War Z. Did you guys ever see that?
I did.
Yeah, so you remember how in that one they were like, oh, if people are sick, then hey, nobody would want to fuck with the zombies.
Weren't interested in people that had illnesses.
Yeah, because they needed perfect, healthy hosts.
Yep.
Which I was just like, wow, this is horrible.
Yeah.
I gotta be honest with you, I think I kind of liked Return a little bit more than I did Night. Simply because of Deadpool and Liz's relationship.
I agree with you.
You know, I think, again, having a sidekick or just someone that for Deadpool's personality to just bounce off each other was great. And then you got this idea that Deadpool is no longer a unique character. The world is literally full of him.
Well, also he didn't break the fourth wall until this storyline, the second part.
Mm-hmm.
He made some reference to another comic book. And Liz, I definitely with the baseball bat, and I definitely got a very Negan feel with her.
Yeah, I got nothing, guys. I didn't read the second part.
Kind of missed that memo, huh? There's a lot of memos being missed here at the Dork.
Yeah. Well, no, we didn't. No, I just threw it in there because I figured, I read the first.
So short.
Yeah. The first one was, I didn't know I'd have time to read them both, and
well, Leo, you got to remember last time we read Long Halloween, it was 13 issues. I see there was like 4 issues. I was like, whoa.
But we don't need to go too far into it. But, for those of you watching or listening, if you are interested in checking out Night of the Living Deadpool or Return of the Living Deadpool, I do have links in the show notes.
Mm-hmm.
You can get them on Amazon, and those links do help support the network.
Indeed.
Yeah, I think we get like a couple cents from Amazon.
and again, it was a good miniseries because I feel like comics sometimes they'll just flood the market with, if one idea is good, you're going to see like 50 other titles. Are just like, I remember there were so many little miniseries like, oh hey, Deadpool versus Carnage. Oh hey, Deadpool possessed by the Venom symbiote. Like all these things, and it's just like, it's like, okay, like it's got to be a really good story. Otherwise, you're just kind of wasting Wade. Like when it was Deadpool versus Thanos, I'm like, okay. And the hook was Death had been kidnapped, so they both had to get it because they both paramours of Death. I was like, okay, this makes sense because someone clearly did their homework. Or something ridiculous like, oh, hey, he was Deadpool versus Hawkeye. You know, like it's just Deadpool making fun of Clint Barton the whole time. So as always with comics, sometimes, and I don't know if they realize it or if it's just business, they often will take a very good idea and kind of pump it, just pump that well till it's dry.
Really? They do that?
Yeah. I think the 17 Spider-Man titles and the 22 Batman tie-ins, or I don't know, the 43 Superman tie-ins probably said a lot.
It's true. It's natural. It's super satisfactory.
Get out.
Get
out. Take your chimney sweep and leave.
Well, talking about running things into the ground, I mean, we know that Walking Dead has completed.
It's over.
Oh yeah. Well, the show is entering its last season right now.
Thank God.
But I mean, the comic ended what? A year ago?
2 years?
2 years. And I don't know if you realize this, but they've been re-releasing the comic in extended editions, and I believe they colorized it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then I heard that Kirkman has been doing another version where it was like Walking Dead in space or something. And I don't know. It's just like it was like a thing where like Rick ended up living or something, and like he has like a cyber hand and a flaming sword. I don't know. It's just it's one of those like one-shot ideas that he just said, fuck it, let's go. And apparently
I think I might have seen that. Yeah.
Yeah, and apparently it's like genius. And I was like, yeah. I mean, I'm sorry. I enjoy Kirkman, but the best thing I've ever read that he did was Invincible.
Yeah.
I'm hands down.
Yeah, Invincible was amazing. We still need to cover that here, but that's a larger book to.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna have to pick an arc.
Oh yeah. Maybe like knock it down a section at a time.
What are we rating on crowbars here this week on
Yes.
Drew, it's your book. Why don't you take the lead?
Okay, I'm gonna give this a solid. I'm gonna give this a solid 3.75. Because I enjoyed the story. I enjoyed the artwork, everything. I definitely would recommend it to somebody who maybe has a good sense of humor and enjoys horror films, because I feel like they pick up a lot of the Easter eggs and the tropes. Is this like the greatest Deadpool story I've ever read? No. But it's still a good story. And sometimes when it comes to comics, that's pretty good in its own, because, I mean, think of how many Deadpool back issues are cluttering comic store back issue bins as we speak. Like hundreds. So I'd say 3.75 crowbars.
3.75. What about you, Velvet Joker?
I'm going to give it a solid 4. I thought the originality of the ending, and again, what I had said about the zombies having that essence of still the people sort of just being there for the ride was scary, and like Drew said, it was an awesome horror / comic story, and the emotional stuff that I was amazingly surprised that I felt from different points in the story is why I'm feeling solid 4.
Okay. I'm gonna give it a solid 3.5 for similar reasons that it was I really enjoyed the story. And as emotional, I found it extremely dark. And it kind of like put me in a
Literally.
dark spot. Yeah. It was yeah, so I was feeling a little depressed after reading it, but I did enjoy it. I did enjoy. I thought it definitely would have been more humor given a Deadpool, but
The change of pace was good.
the change of pace was good. I need to read more Deadpool. I haven't nearly read enough, but what I have read, I've enjoyed.
I will hook you up with a list, my dude.
Awesome, thank you.
Yeah.
It's 3.5.
Totally. Yeah. And I think the thing being is that what people always forget with zombie movies is there really isn't going to be a happy ending, because the way that infections, I mean, we've seen this just with COVID, diseases, infections, whatever, they spread really quickly. And, let's be real here. If COVID was a zombie virus, this planet would be dead.
Yeah.
Actually,
speaking of that, Discovery Channel or Discovery Plus, there's a semi-new show. I've been watching some paranormal investigative one, and one of the things that they cover, it's not one of the fluffy paranormal shows. It's one where,
fluffy.
It's not one where oh my God, what was that? Was that creek? Oh, we got a ghost. No, this is more. It's an investigative reporter going through the different mysteries and stuff like that. And he covered the zombie virus, and they were actually filming that right before COVID hit.
Mm-hmm.
And halfway through the episode, they started it saying we started filming this before COVID, and then halfway through the episode, it's like we stopped it due to COVID. But it was just creepy to, look at the parallels. They're talking about like a zombie virus, how it will affect, how fast it will affect the world. And then you're looking at COVID, and it's just, if COVID would have been a zombie virus, it would have been,
we would be dead.
Yeah.
It would be, it's, how like George Romero always had Of the Dead, it would be Planet of the Dead. Let's just be real here. And I think that's the thing. And it's so funny because that's what zombies became. But it started as not political. It was a social commentary. Remember, it was addressing conformity and racism and a lot of things that you wouldn't expect in a horror movie. And I feel that a lot of those times that message gets lost now in gore, jump scares and whatnot. Although we do see some of that, in my opinion, funny enough, we talked about Guardians in the Day of the Dead remake directed by Zack Snyder, which is, again, one of the few Zack Snyder films I really like, which was the script for that was written by James Gunn. I don't know if you guys knew that.
No.
There is a Easter egg in the movie that you haven't seen yet, and it's the head of Trauma. So,
nice.
See if you can spot him.
Okay. Did you guys?
Yeah. Because that's where Gunn came from.
Yep.
Right. Did you guys see John Ostrander anywhere in the film? He's supposed to be in there. I know James asked him to cameo because without him, we wouldn't have had the Suicide Squad.
I saw another cameo that I don't want to talk about yet, but we'll discuss it after you see it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, he is in the movie. He is the one that injects Rooker.
Oh, okay, awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, really? I didn't know that.
And also,
third time rich.
Ooh.
And also the woman who played Mantis is she's one of the singers in the club.
Oh, Palm Klementov?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I wasn't going to share that with you.
That's fine.
Sorry.
But listen, I know I'm going to love it because James Gunn really doesn't do wrong to me. And we've talked about this before. I mean, like I said, even Slither is fantastic. And Leo, you haven't watched Slither, right? That was
No, it's on my list. I need to watch.
yeah,
it.
you need to, especially come closer to October. I feel it'll definitely fit in with your spooky vibes.
I feel confident you're going to love it.
Oh yeah, I mean, come on, it's a zombie space movie, and Nathan Fillion is a sheriff. I mean, how can you not love it? You know, and Michael Rooker is in that too, because why not? But
And,
honestly,
the kid from SNL.
there you go. But honestly, you know, I just have to say, you guys, we always get some really great guests. Like, everybody's been delightful. There's never been one where I was like, you know what, I didn't like that guest. I thought they were, you know, we haven't had any Steven Seagal kind of guests, you know, from SNL. It was like, they're the worst. Just horrible.
I am working on a pretty big guest for us here.
Spoilers for anyone watching.
Hence?
Yeah, hold on one second. I'm just pulling up the list. It wouldn't be until the fall,
Okay.
but there is a possibility that we may have Miss Julie Newmar.
No way.
I'm working on it, so fingers crossed.
Holy no. What?
Yeah.
No.
Now, that's
my.
Kitka, right?
What's that?
Is that Miss Kitka?
Oh,
Which incarnation was that, Drew? Do you know? Are you a Batman 66 fan?
yeah, oh my god, yeah. Anytime I talk about Batman, my father will always bring up Batman 66. And I was like, Dad, it's been over 50 years.
And was
There's been so much more Batman.
so was
Newmar,
Newmar the one that played the Russian Miss Kitka to romance Bruce Wayne as Adam West?
I feel like she was, right? I feel like, yeah, I think so. Because that sounds really, I mean, it's been a long time since I watched the 60s. But, I mean, listen, the thing I'm going to ask her about, well, besides that, and I'm going to tell my father, he's going to freak out. I want to ask her about Tu Wong Fu.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
That's so great.
What do you think about Wesley Snipes in drag?
Wesley, John Leguizamo, and the late great, still amazing Patrick Swayze.
Listen, John looked fine, Patrick looked fine, but oh my god, that was ugly. Wesley, oh my.
And it's funny is that he went to SUNY Purchase, which, you know, they have a very big LGBTQ community, and they even have a show that's called Fall Ball, where you know, people can wear outfits, costumes, you know, but outfits, and they can do performances and stuff. And I'm not gonna lie, they are, like, I've been in one or two of those, and it is a hell of a show because the effort there is fantastic. Like, I've seen people who dance better than I could.
And drag shows are super fun.
You know, but so, you know, again, he went to Purchase. He's an alumnus of Purchase. So when I saw that, I was like, yeah, I wonder where you learned some of those tips. You know, back in them old Purchase days, Wesley.
Yeah. When I owned the bagel shop, the Geek Theme Bagel Shop for 12 years, I was really trying to up my makeup game as far as cosplay. One of my customers did drag shows on the weekend and came to the house. He came to the apartment once or twice and gave me some tips, and he showed me, and then I emulated it. So
yeah, there you go.
Very talented.
I think my favorite moment from that, and we're going to wrap this up soon, Leo, because I already feel like I'm looking at the clock and I'm just like, we're just under 2 hours, was the scene where he's getting frisked by the police officer, and then he reaches under and whatnot. Swayze didn't tell the actor that he basically stuffed a corn cob in his underwear. So that face of surprise is very genuine.
I never heard that. That's hilarious.
I had to be honest with you, when I found that out and I rewatched that, because it's kind of like an unofficial tradition with me and Ange, and I rewatched that. Boy, that scene is even funnier now because you're like, that's some real shock right there. So, but yeah, but listen, that was great, but I'll always think of her as Catwoman. You know, her, Eartha Kitt, and Lee Merriweather, who I only got to meet for like a second, who seemed really pleasant. So, yeah, so that's awesome. And if that happens, oh my God.
Yeah, I'll keep you guys in the loop, and that's thanks to our friends over at the Toking Dead, or Toking Still Token with.
Let us know if we need to do some fundraising to get our budget up for that. You know, because that, oh my God, I guess. What did you do Tuesday night? Oh, we interviewed Julie Newmar. I'm sorry, what? Like, that's some nerd cred right there, guys.
Totally. Yeah. It's yeah. So as soon as I saw her on a list, I'm like, okay, I need to get her for splash pages. So
100%. And
yeah,
hey, you know what we got to do? We got to review a Batman 66 book. So if we were like, so Julie, any thoughts?
Well, she also did the voice.
Didn't they just like 2 or 3 years ago redo an animated Batman 66 with as much of the original voices as they did? I wonder if she was one of the voices.
She was, actually. I was just going to mention that. Yeah.
Boom.
Get it on Plex, Leo.
Yeah.
It's already there.
Oh, it's already there.
It's already there. Every single DC animated and DC, anything DC is up there.
I'm ready. I'm going to catch up, although I'm not dealing with that Superman Lobo one. But that's awesome, guys. All right, so let's just finish it, wrap it up.
Cool beans. Well, we'll definitely wrap things up here. I want to thank everybody for watching this fine evening. Definitely check the show notes up above or down below, depending on where you're watching or listening to us, to follow these awesome people. And so speaking of following, Drew, where do you like people following or interacting with you?
You can look me up on Facebook. It's my name, Drew Malno. I'm Ghostbuster Man 1984 on Instagram. I do writing and other work for Screen Rant, so you just look up Drew Malno Screen Rant. You can see a bunch of my articles. I do a lot for splash pages. I work with Chris on the Spectacular Spider-Man Sal Buscema show. I'm also working with him on another project. And I'm generally all busy, so if I do not respond, it's not because I don't love you. It's I just don't love you enough to respond.
Sounds good.
Yeah, it's fair.
Nova Jugger.
Hello, and you can find I'm no David, formerly known as DT Joker, and you can find me on Instagram, Velvet Joker 2021. Have a good evening. Peace out.
And for me, just Google Leo Pond. You find a bunch of stuff. Could be true, could be not. But I run a little thing called the Dorkening Podcast Network, and got just about 40 shows on there. A lot of awesome people doing a lot of awesome stuff. With that, we'll catch you guys there. Bye.
All right. Bye.